welcome to another edition of the Balking Dead. I'm your host, Sharpies Bets, and this show is still sponsored by Prize Picks. So if you haven't already, please go on over to Prize Picks and use that promo code PUBSPORTS. Your first match deposit up to $100 is just like pretty much every promo code. But by using fucking PUBSPORTS' promo code, it's like saying thank you to PUBSPORTS 1,000 times, saying thank you, Sharpie, for winning me a little bit of money. Here's a little promo code action to say thanks. So if you can, sign up. If you can't, smash the fucking like. Anyways, if you're in Twitter world, this video will freaking end shortly. So hit the link and come join the best MLB prop show out. Why? Because it's free and we really win money. And on Sundays, I bring in the man, C-Mac with the pack. How you doing today, my man?
I'm good. I'm good. Baseball's been good. The last few days have been pretty good. So let's get into this card, brother. Let's get into it. Fuck it.
Baseball's been great. I had 2K props running this morning. I hit Alcantara nice and easy, and Sonny Gray's having a nice and sunny day for me. So 1K away from Sonny Gray for a 2-0 day on my K props. But yeah, you got any afternoon action you'd like to speak about before we talk about this game of two stories?
Yeah, let's touch on some of these afternoon games. I don't have much action on these afternoon games. I kind of want to take the A's. That's just the lean. I didn't do it. Obviously, Dodgers big favorites with Kershaw. I wanted to touch on that game. I think there's some good hitter props. Obviously, go with two guys that are red hot, Betts and Freeman. And Betts has got great numbers. And the other guy that I wanted to touch on, Kershaw's been great, but if you're looking for a hitter prop, take Slater. I thought he was just obviously they called strike three with Price on the mound on that inside pitch, but I thought he was going to hit him yesterday. He was right on his shit, and I thought the game could have been tied. So he's 6 for 17 with 3 homers off Kershaw. We know Kershaw, even if he's good, Kershaw, that solo jack is right around the corner, and with numbers like that, his homer is plus 500. Put a little on Slater here tonight, and you can obviously take his over 1.5. That was like my main guy to look at in these afternoon games, and that's about it. Mariners, I stayed off. D-backs, Nats, you naturally think this game will go over, but I think Fetty could pitch well, and I like the D-backs the last 2 days. They've won easily. I think the Nats could be sneaky plus 110. I think Fetty could pitch better here, even though the Nats have been horrible, and this team is not very good. Maybe a Sunday day game with Fetty, I think, could be a little bit better. And I watched that total. This game could stay under the 9.5.
Man, you touched a lot of things that I spoke to about Noli with earlier, and that's what I love about not breaking down baseball with the same guy we go on the show with, because that's just like, what's the point? Y'all need some real talk and action that goes on. And Clayton Kershaw does give up that home run, and I said that shit. I said it earlier, and then shout out to Tone, my guy. His level play is Freddie Freeman over 1.5, and I endorse that just like he was talking. That guy is on a fucking terror right now. Over his last 10 games, he has over 43 bags. Yeah, he's half of the games he's got 2 hits. So Freddie Freeman right now is a beast, but back to Kershaw, guys, and that's the reason why I stayed off of him today, too, is some of these Giants see him really freaking well, and it's a day game. Kershaw at night is a different story in Dodger Stadium. The ball travels during the day, and that solo shot is always around the corner with Clayton Kershaw. He can go out there and look like Clayton and Clayton Kershaw you today, but I would not be surprised, and I'd be looking at the over, actually. I think they both get hit, and the Dodgers could carry it themselves.
Yeah. Real quick, and this Giants lineup can stack it. They're righties. You know, you think they have lefties. Few lefties will be in their hit, but they'll have Flores in, Ruff, Slater, all those righties, and they've hit lefties pretty good. They hit well, you know, to end the first half, and they hit lefties better than righties. So you might be onto something there with the total. I didn't touch it, but I wouldn't be surprised if, today got over.
Yeah, I didn't bet it either, but when I look at their 200 plate appearances, the Giants, they're batting 291 as a team and 938 OPS with a damn near ISO at 300. Like, they're crushing lefties right now. So that's enough to make me kick back and relax, even though when Kershaw pitched against them in June, he did all right for Kershaw. 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and that was coming off the IL. So just the Giants bats are hot, and that's enough to keep me off, and it's a day game. So 3 lefties in a row, too, for the Giants they're seeing. That's always never good for me trying to bet on a K-prop with – they're seeing the third lefty now. Granted, it is the best lefty the Dodgers have, but you also brought up a sneaky line value, and it registered something real quick in my head. And yesterday, the Pirates were a minus 110 versus the Marlins. And this is something that's going to happen throughout the second half of the year. If you see a shitty team playing a mediocre to good team and they're the fucking favorite, just don't go against it, guys. The books aren't fucking wrong. I know a lot of people were on the Marlins yesterday, and I was like, what? I didn't see it. And then I saw the line, and I just said, that's a stay away, guys. Like, you either got to bet on it or stay away because these books aren't dumb, guys.
Well, Sharpie, I know you probably didn't listen to me on Jose that early yesterday. That's exactly what I said when I was on his show. I said, you bet the Pirates here. I know it was a 1-0 game. Obviously, you can go either way, and I almost put them at the end of my bets. I kept them off, and then, of course, they ended up winning. But minus 105, minus 110, that's about what they were, and they won it. And you're right on. So I like it. We're on the same path. See, look, man, boom.
Man, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. Well, let's talk about this game we're here to talk about. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Shout out to the chat. Smash the like if you haven't. And let's get to the monies. Padres at the Mets. First 5 is Mets minus 120, and the Padres are a minus 110. 4 juice to the over to a minus 125, and the full game is a Mets minus 128, Padres plus 107, and 8 juice to the under at a minus 115. It is going to be 90 degrees at first pitch with a wind temp of 7 miles per hour blowing out. Some sites do say 13, some say 10. I asked the weatherman himself, Noli knows what's going on, and he went and looked it up. Game time, it'll be about 7 miles per hour. 7 miles per hour going out, and it'll trickle on down a little bit. So it does say 13, and that scared the living dog shit out of me to start this writing, but it's going to be more like 7. So that's a big difference in my opinion. So let's talk about these two pitchers we're here to talk about. Joe Musgrove and Carlos Carrasco, the Cookie Monster himself. Joe Musgrove's 8-2 with a 2.42 ERA in 16 games. Same home road splits. He has 6+ innings this year in 15 of 16 games. Damn. So you could pencil Joe Musgrove for 6 innings, guaranteed pretty much every game this year. He hasn't seen the Mets this year, but last year he's seen them 2 times on a back-to-back, and he had 10 Ks in the first one, 7 Ks in the second game, and he went 5 innings first game, 6 innings second game. So he got better as the second game came on. Most aces do. That's what you got to realize. If you've got a good pitch mix, you then now pitch a pitcher differently, a team differently. You're not going to pitch them the same way you did the first time. And it's been nice for me to ride aces on a back-to-back, at least backing them, but not K-prop wise always. But he has shown his K-prop drop from a 10 to a 7 versus them. But we don't have a back-to-back with Joe Musgrove going right now. He hasn't seen these Mets all year. What we have with him is a 5.5 K-prop at a minus 104, 5 on Prize Picks at minus 251, and his fantasy score at 35.5. Now that 5.5 to me is screaming alarm bells. And I want to play it, but there's alarms telling me rot, and then Jesus loves me. He loves you too, and he loves that little guy in the back right there, huh? Sonny motherfucking Gray. If you didn't know, you should know. Shout out to the ones that do.
Who's the guy pointing?
And Sonny Gray.
Who's the little guy pointing?
That guy's a legend, Connor. That guy's a legend.
I loved it, bro. That guy right there was letting you know the Dirty K strikes again, guys. Okay. We 2-0 on the day. Sonny Gray was my favorite play of the day. And yet, Alcantara cast in his sleep. So, whatever. 2-0. We good. Since the All-Star break, though, we 6-2 on K-props. Just saying, though. But that just goes with my year-long record. But is what it is. And we're not here to talk about that. So, let's talk about how many days he's missed. He's been on a 10-day rest since the All-Star break. He did pitch in the All-Star game, and last year he came in on an 8-day rest, and he pitched a full workload. So I don't expect any limitations on Musgrove today, and he's going up against a team that's struggling by the numbers, guys. At the end of the day, over the last 200 plate appearances, their 9.5 walk percentage is good. They're striking out 23% of the time with a 216 average, trash. 622 OPS, trash, and an ISO of 114. So they're just not hitting the ball. They're not seeing the ball, and they're actually striking out a lot more than what the Mets have been doing prior to the All-Star break. So why aren't we slamming Musgrove, Sharpie? Like, this is it, right? Well, Math Time says he pitches better on the road. He averages a strikeout per inning where it's only 8.5 per nine at home. Not much of a difference. And lefty versus righties doesn't matter. He strikes out pretty much the same, 8.4 strikeouts per nine. So he's pretty much matchup proof. He don't care if you're lefty or righty. His pitches plays to both sides. Now, why aren't we slamming it? Why is it a 5.5? And sometimes I've got to read lines, guys, and the line to me says he has had 6 strikeouts or more in 12 of 14 games this year, not being a back-to-back or coming off of COVID. Why is it at a 6 then, guys? To me, that's a trap line. Maybe it hits, but I'm not ready to run into a wall with Joe Musgrove on a trap line. So that's why I'm going to stay off of Joe Musgrove right now, even though I can't hate you if you're playing the 6. It's just my job to tell you if I'm on it or not and give you a good reason why I'm off of it. So you got anything to add to Joe Musgrove right there? I know I went on a crazy winded speech, but yeah.
No, you know what? You hit it all there. He's been unbelievable on the road. This game's got a lot of conflicting shit going on. Obviously, the Mets haven't hit since they come back. 2 runs. Yesterday was awful. Those first 4 innings, they had ducks all over the pond with Snell. Leadoff double, walk, nobody in. Single, walk, couldn't get nothing. Because I lost that game. That's first 5. So believe me, I was watching that shit and I was furious. They at least should have had 1. They should have had 2 yesterday. And they were awful. And Padres just took that homer by Machado. And that's all it's took. Both these teams, Sharvie, real quick, they haven't got much over 8. The wind, it's hot, it's offensive weather, but there's just no way. I got to look at the under. I mean, the way these teams score right now, and if I get beat today, I get beat. But I think I'm going to go with the under. I was just contemplating the first 5 or wanted to go the full game. And I'm going to go the full game here under 8. The more I keep thinking about it, I just don't think these teams swing. I think Musgrove gives you 6, like you talked about, maybe a couple. I think Carrasco can be decent. This Padre lineup isn't very good. Tatis will be back. We know Machado, Hosmer, they've kind of won those games the last 2 days. Can they do that again? And for them, that's just scoring 2, 4, 3 runs. I'll dare them to do that again. I'm not going to take the Mets minus 130. I'm just going to look to the total and look to the under here. And I think Musgrove will be pretty good. I think this Mets lineup's just ice cold. I don't want – they can't hit with runners in scoring position. Maybe they put up 6 today, but I'll be on the under.
Yeah, man, I definitely see it too, and I'm going to talk about Carrasco, and he's also better at home than he is on the road too. So that's going to back up the under too. So when we get into him, he's 10-4 with a 4.27 ERA in 18 games. He has a home 3.59 ERA compared to a road 5.23. He has played 2 more games on the road, but still a 3.59 at home is just that's something you want to fucking bet on. So he's faced the Padres in San Diego in June 6, where he has a 5.23 on the road, right? So he's bad on the road, right? No, he fucking smoked these guys. Shout out to Big Ragu. He was on Carrasco's K-prop then. I have a good memory, guys. That
was his best game. Yeah. That was his best game.
7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, and 10 strikeouts? 10? Like, damn, bro. Like, okay. So when I run up the numbers from June 7th to today, there's not much of a difference, guys. They were walking 8% of the time back on June 7th. They are walking 9.7%. That's the only plus to them. They were striking out 21.7. It's now 22.2, pretty much the same. 241 average drops now to a 219 average, and a 662 OPS drops to a 630. So they're pretty much the same team or worse in every other category that he's going to see them, and the categories that mean most to me. So I expect Carrasco to go out there and deal again, guys. At the end of the day, his K-prop is 5.5 minus 104. Prize Picks had him at a 5. They did jump him to a 5.5 right before the show, and his fantasy score is at 35.5. Am I on Carrasco? No. There's something about me that just irks me when a guy doesn't go long into a game. I know a lot of people will be happy when a guy cashes a ticket and they barely cash it and they get their ass kicked. Like, that's not the type of game I want to be involved in. I would like to cash and it be a nice, smooth sailing game and the guy have a great game. Like, I know not everything can be perfect, but I like to put my situations to where I think it's going to be perfect. So he hasn't gone more than 6 innings, but 2 of his last 10 games, by the numbers, just strikeout numbers, I'm going to need him to go 6 innings. But if you take it and match it up to the Padres, he should easily have 6 because of the numbers he had last time. There's a lot of things saying yes. When I break down the math, he strikes out lefties 10 Ks per 9 compared to just 9. And then the thing that's screaming right now is his strikeouts on the road is a measly ass 7. At home, it goes up 5.5 fucking strikeouts to a 12.42. So Carrasco averages 5 strikeouts more at home, and he strikes out lefties one more per 9 than the right-handed side. And they are projecting 5 left-handers out there for this Padres team. So if I get that projected lineup, I'm going to have to pull the trigger on Carrasco. This guy dominates the left-handed side. Most righties don't. That's why you get them left-handed bats. So today in the White Sox game, I had to stay off of Bieber because they loaded up a bunch of righties this time. When last time they played him, it was lefty deep. And you got to look at math and break them down sometimes, guys. And certain pitchers dominate one side of the plate, and most of the time the righty dominates a right-handed side. And that's why I fall in love with guys who could strike out the left-handed side as well as the right-handed side, or even the lefties at a higher rate. So a lot of the guys we bet on here are those type of guys. We like guys that can dominate them. And this is a type of spot where I need more lefties than righties to run Carrasco. So that's my opinion on the 2 pitchers. Now let's talk some hitting props. But first, no run first inning is at a -135. I don't play no run first inning in games 98% of the time in the year. I think it's the biggest coin flip bet in the world. Not saying it's the wrong bet if you're betting it. I'm just not good at betting it. At the end of the day, I can't pick when the pitcher's going to get rocked that 1 inning and then calm the fuck back down. I'm not trying to roll the dice with that shit. Like, if I get an elite bullpen guy versus an ace, then I'll think about it. That's the time where it's like, okay, but still, you're playing with fire. You're hoping the guy's 1 bad inning isn't the first, and I can't play with fire. Both bullpens have been good. That's why I get why Connor is on the full game. Over the last 30 days, the Padres have the 13th bullpen with a 3.8 ERA, and the Mets have the 8th best bullpen with a 3.44. So 2 good pitchers should go to 2 good bullpens and 2 teams that just ain't hitting. So speaking of hitting, what hitting props are you going to bring up, my guy?
Let's touch on Carrasco. So in the end, you're not on his K prop, right?
Not until I see the full-blown lineup. I have a projected lineup right now, so I need more lefties than righties for me personally.
Yeah, I think it's borderline with him there with that. But hey, you're the K prop master there. I think he'll be better today. And he had those rough starts real quick to touch on Carrasco. Really, though, back-to-back starts against the Astros in late June, where he gave up 6 and 5. But other than you take those 2 starts out of it, he's been pretty good all year. And I think he can get through 5 tonight and maybe just a couple. So I agree with you. I think it's borderline on them. Let's get to these hitter props here. It's hard to take hitter props when I'm on the under in the game. We talk about this on Sunday Night Baseball, but I still think there's a few guys that there's going to be some big hits in this game. And obviously, look at the Padres real quick. You got to touch on Machado or Hosmer. These are the guys carrying this lineup. Profores is good. I think he's 5 for 8 with a jack. Maybe look at him if he's in the lineup. I think he will be. That was one that stuck out to me. Stood out. Sorry, I'm all stood out. But let's get to the rest here. I'm going to the Mets. You can go Pete Alonso had a decent day yesterday. You can go McNeil, but it's Lindor. He's 5 for 14. He's got 2 homers. He hasn't even had a ton of multi-hit games lately in the last 10, but I like him here. I just like him. The setup. His over 1.5 bases plus 140. I'm on it. And I think you can get plus 450. I think I can get higher than that, plus 475. I'm going to put a little on his Jack as well, as he obviously has a couple homers off Musgrove. So that's my only real play hitting wise with props.
All right. Well, I obviously had to talk about Lindor too. I mean, like, who doesn't? When you see the numbers like that, you've got to break into it. And in those 14 at bats, he's been walked one time, struck out 6 times, which is awesome, guys. You think, oh man, he struck out. No, he has 5 hits, struck out 6 times, but 3 of those hits were for fucking 1 double, 2 bombs, and that's why my guy is that. They're giving you value, but on my book, it's plus 400. They'll still see some of my money right there. That's just, at the end of the day, the guy is swinging for the fences, and that's what I want betting a hitting prop. He's walked 1 time in 15 plate appearances. Beautiful. Wish it was a 0, but still, at least we see the guys looking to swing the bat versus him, and he does hit righties way better than lefties. Another guy I always like to, and I haven't bet that yet, but I will get to the home run part. But I think, like, if you run the K prop with Musgrove, I think you kind of gotta run this Lindor over 1.5, because he's gonna give you 2 strikeouts, at least 1. And if he does get you knocked out the game, if a guy does knock you out the game, it might be Lindor, guys. So it's kind of like you're hedging your bet in a way. That's why it's like, dude, there's too much shit for Musgrove. I think he gets 6 easy. Another thing real quick that I wrote down that I didn't bring up, guys, in his last 8 games, he's averaging 6.3 strikeouts. In his last 10, that's 6.1. They never give you less than the average. They don't do this shit, guys. They don't. This is something they just don't do. So there's something just ringing in my head saying, dude, like, don't bet this, dude. They are trying to kick you in your balls right now. And me being 2-0 is just going to have to just kick back and look at the other side of this, because there's just something there that's just screaming alarm bells on Joe Musgrove. Like, and it's not just one thing, guys. And it's like, I wanted to bet him. He's in my black book. He's a guy I've done hours and hours of work and writing on. And this just doesn't add up, guys. And if it don't add up in the gambling world, there's only like 2 guys I'll run into walls with, and they've shown me they're freaking running the wall proof. Shohei Ohtani and Shane McClanahan. Every time where they say it looks like a trap, that trap, they have walked straight through that with their dick on the table. Musgrove's going to have to show me he's going to be able to get this one, guys. But, it is what it is. You brought up Machado and Hosmer carrying the team yesterday, Connor. That's been the whole year. Those are the 2 bats all fucking year that's carried this fucking team, bro. Some guys may get hot here and there for like a week or 2 period, but no, these are the 2 guys the first month of baseball were number like 1 and 3 in average, and then Hosmer and them dropped off a little bit, but they're still top 15 in a lot of these hitting categories, and they got them on the same team, so they're carrying this team, and definitely worth a look, guys, for if you're looking at a NL. They're going to have a chance at this NL they're going to make the playoffs, guys. If you want to bet NL pennant, looking at some plus monies, they're at that plus 1,200 right now. I know my guy Noli going to start talking shit about how I'm a Padre fan. I just know if you get hot at the right time, that can carry you into a World Series, guys. And Tatis is that guy who just brings that juice, that flow, that it factor, guys. That whole team changes when he steps on the fucking field, guys. So it's going to be like a shot in the arm to the Padres, but the Dodgers are also getting a shot in the arm. Dustin fucking May's coming back in August, baby. We don't got to even trade for a pitcher. So baseball's looking good. Machado and Hosmer are 2 guys you can always look at. Mazara's got really good numbers, guys. It's only 10 at bats, but he's batting like 400 or 500 off of Carrasco. They used to play against each other in the American League. And I expect Mazara to bat top of the lineup today because of the numbers on him. That's how Melvin does fucking shit. And I'd look at his hits, runs, RBIs, guys. If somebody's on the base, they have ducks on the pond. They just haven't gotten nobody in. This may be the time where Machado or Hosmer's on base and Mazara brings them in today. But I think he's the sneaky look right there. He does have good numbers, sees them well. But, let's go hit some commercial right quick. Smash the like if you have it, and let's get to some best bets.
Smash it.
All right, I'm over here just dancing and gigging and booming, and yeah, shout out to the chat, guys. Only 22 likes. 22? 22?
Come
No,
on.
22. Smash that fucking shit, bro, and let's get to some best bets, my guy. What's your best bet of the day?
Why don't you go? There you go.
All right, well, you were going to put me on the spot like that. Well, guys, this
Well, I
show...
want you to go.
Nah. This show is the most realest show out there. At the end of the day, I give you my bets, I give you breakdowns to make your bets, and we win fucking tickets. I don't have a fucking bet on this game. I'm not going to give you a best bet when I have nothing fucking betted yet. You want me to lie to you and tell you go bet this and I don't have my money on it? Well, go to another show for that, because this show is real as they come, guys. And I'm waiting on that lineup to bet Carrasco. If I do get 5 left-handers out there, I will be on it. So I have a plan, and I need that to happen for me to bet it. So I will put it out on Twitter if I do get my lineup. And yeah, let's be real as they come. And I will sprinkle that home run prop. That will have some of my money, but I can't give you a real best bet when my guy brought it up to you first. I'm just getting on the train. So he the home run guy for real. I'm good at over 1.5. So
Well, that's what I'm going to be on. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be on the Lindor. Yeah, there's too much value there, plus 140. Yeah, throw a little. I'm going to find better. I think I can get up to 500 because I already got 450, 470 at one spot. I think maybe you could find it with Lindor, but I got to search around my books for that. You know what? Here's the deal. I lean on the under. I haven't bet it yet. We talked about it. You know, the hot weather, a little bit of the wind, but when it comes down, you still got to swing it, Sharpie. So to me, I lean strong on this under. I think I'm going to play it. You know, other conflicting things. The tickets, 55% were on the under. Almost, it's like 67 of the money is on the under. But if this opened to 7.5 and moved to 8, was that just money right early in the morning that jumped this up a half run, and now they don't want to take it back down because of the weather? I think so. But these offenses, if you go through the book, it's just value. These teams haven't got over 9 runs in like 10 games, and maybe they're due. Maybe they swing it tonight. But I think just the value, you got to take the under here. So I'm gonna wait for the lineups as well. But I think that's the look here is the under 8.
Yes, sir. Well, shout out to the chat. Tomorrow we will have some bets that I'm on, I promise. But on Sundays we break down the ESPN game.
Take Slater real quick. Take Slater if you want a little with we talked about earlier in the show. Take his hitter prop.
There you go. And hopefully they give us 5 lefties so we can go freaking smash it and make us some more extra money tonight. But if you don't know, you should know, guys. We don't just do UFC. We don't just do Bellator. We finally get the baby, the boomer, the live betting stream of the Contender Series. Fuck Dana White. Sharpie's Contender Series. Okay, guys? Start tuning in, guys. We got Tuesday UFC. Money to be made.
8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern. Sorry I didn't say the time, but damn, I'm really good at these WWF promos, bro. I watch Stone Cold all the time, bro. You better watch out. Woo-wee! But shout out to the chat, guys. You got any last words before I run through my spiel? And where can they find you, C-Mac?
No, just right here. Pup Sports Radio. Shout out to the chat. Hit the like button, like Sharpie said. Billy Brisbane. Lance, Nilo, all you guys, Real Deal Prime. I'm sure you'll hit it, Sharpie. I don't want to take it. You're the man. This is your show. Take it away, my guy.
Oh man, I'm only the man on every day that ends with Y. All right, I'll stop. But yeah, guys, shout out to you guys. Smash the like if you haven't. Let's keep this train freaking rolling. Go on over to Prize Picks if you haven't. Use that promo code what? Pub Sports. Why? Your first match deposit up to $100. They're going to match deposit it. Not just that, guys. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the donos. We appreciate everything you do for Pub Sports. We started very small. Last year, I joined this place, and we had about 8,000 fucking people. We're almost to 20, and we're going to keep growing. But without you guys, there ain't no show. And the biggest thank you you can do is just use that promo code one time, guys. At the end of the day, it helps pay the bills, and it's a big thank you. So shout out to you guys who have. We appreciate it. And even if you haven't, tune the fuck in, and I appreciate that shit just as much. I'm Sharpie's Bets, and until next time, let's pull them cheeks back on Sunday.
Peace.